and the boo.
That's what I always say. And don't forget to spit on my cock. Just to hit around the holidays every fucking year, dude.
Right.
Brings the house down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we're live, everybody.
Oh shit, we're live. Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's time to do it.
Oh,
okay.
No.
Everyone, pretend to be happy. On 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the show. My name is Brian McCarthy. This is the Brian McCarthy interview show. Sitting stage right is Adam Hineker, and we are here to say hello. We no guests this week because sometimes you just gotta hit the reset button. So
you sure do.
Control Alt Delete on the on whatever it is we're up to here. So hopefully on this show we will, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, I think on YouTube, by the way, we were talking, I think we are now age restricted.
I'm actually going to look right now because I think it's just one video because it'll give you a notification if you have something dicey.
Well,
I want to see which one it is.
Okay, so if we are age restricted, and that means that you had to enter, what does that mean? You have to enter like your birth date in or something? Like, how do they even?
If you're signed in, it's not really gonna. Affect.
Okay.
Let me see which one.
But if it is age restricted, take your pants off. Let's get real weird. Yeah. Pull it out. Pull out whatever.
I feel like it was. I suspect it was the Vicky episode.
Probably.
To be honest, but I'll check the back end when I'm on a.
You'll check what
pewter.
You're gonna check.
You're
gonna check the back end.
Yeah.
Speaking of Vicky,
the fucking
balloon knot.
Fucking spit my ball.
Yeah, go ahead. I know Adam and I were laughing because, with all of the, all the sort of adult people we've had on from your, I don't know, from this person to that person and everybody else, the various trans performers or people that actually have genitals they were born with, those weirdos, dominatrixes and everything. With all those people, the one that got us flagged is a recently retired art teacher. She's the one that got it. It's always the quiet one. So, and I think I may have mentioned that, Vicky got in trouble with her family with, I hope it all
blowback.
I hope it all, ironically, Vicky's been at a couple blow bangs.
Blowback from the
blow bangs.
New York Rangers.
Yeah. Second string. That's how you know the story was true.
Totally.
Second string. When you're referencing, it's like I once gave a hand job to all of the Yankees. Well, the farm team. You know what? Okay, I believe that.
Nobody's gonna lie about that.
No one's gonna lie about that. So anyway, my point is that one may be age restricted, but it doesn't matter. We're here now. Whatever. And I always say the show has a disclaimer at the top of it anyway. You shouldn't be under 18 watching this anyway. You shouldn't be under 28. That's what I say. You need a couple of years in the trenches.
Good. This show's good for your kind of your golden years.
Yeah,
maybe listen to it on a porch.
This is what I call an 8th inning listen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, little sweet tea. Boy, it's so funny.
Sir.
The other day they opened a place in Times Square, which there are like 40 locations, but they opened one here. Have you heard of Raising Cane?
Yeah.
Okay. How have you heard about it?
I don't know.
Do you know what it is?
I'm out there.
Yeah, you're out there making it happen.
I'm mixing it up with the.
You're on the street.
Yeah.
It is, for those of you who don't know, it is a chicken finger restaurant. So you go there, and I'm pretty sure the entire menu are just chicken fingers and crinkle fries. Or
like a waffle fry?
No, a crinkle. I mean, kind of, in that it's a fry that's like textured or shaped.
Okay.
But it's a crinkle fry, so you and there's some sort of a sauce that comes with it, which for the life of me I couldn't figure out what it tasted like. I was like, is this cheese or mustard and so that's what it is. So there are 30 to 40 of these. My friend Elise, I was telling her about it. She's like, oh yeah, I've been to the one in Reno. I'm like, but by the way, who goes to Reno? But
I went to Reno once because I have family that lives there. But I think we even stayed in Tahoe. I don't think we actually stayed in Reno.
Just help me out for a second.
That's the only reason why you go to Reno.
We have an international audience. So there's a Lake Tahoe, which is a giant freshwater lake, which is on the other side of the Sierra Nevada mountains, right? For lack of a better term. Okay. Yeah. Where is Tahoe in relation to Reno? Or rather, where is Reno in relation to Tahoe? Is Reno on Lake Tahoe? Is it like the shitty part of Lake Tahoe?
Maybe let me check and let me just finish posting
Adam's
this,
busy.
and then
I'll be filibustering.
And then but yeah, because it was so long ago that I went there kind of as a kid. So geographically, I'm not totally sure, but I do remember.
But they are sort of close to each other.
Yeah. I think they adjoin.
Because I know like there's that show on Comedy Central like Reno 911.
Sure.
And apparently, because Lake Tahoe, which is famous from like The Godfather or whatever.
Sure.
Lake Tahoe is beautiful and has ski resorts and everything. And Reno seems to be like a really shitty Vegas.
Yes. Yeah, okay. It's like the poor man's
Vegas. Right.
Or, well, I guess Atlantic City is the poor man's Vegas, right? But
Atlantic City
it's like the poor man's Atlantic City. Almost.
Well, I don't know if it's that bad. I don't think there's anything worse in Atlantic. I know. I don't think there's anything worse in Atlantic City. Mm-hmm. For those of you who've never been to Atlantic City, it's worth a visit just to see how awful it is. But don't go in the summer. Go in March, because it really is. It looks like something from Fear the Walking Dead, like the zombie apocalypse has happened, but they still have a casino, and that's what it is. So anyway, so my friend Elise was like, "Oh yeah, there's one in Reno," and then but a lot of times in New York, these places that are not really a big deal, anywhere else, they'll open in Times Square. For example, the one they opened in Times Square is massive, and it's on the corner of 45th and Broadway. For those of you who don't know, that is like middle of Times Square. So it's right there where all the fucking shit is, whatever the shit is, the signs and everything. So I went with my one of my kids, and it was just really funny because you wait in this long line. Although the line moved quickly, but you go in, and it was just a just like a restaurant. It was it was good. It was good for whatever it is, but it's just funny because I know that, shout out to Paul Dinnan, he said that they just opened a Five Guys in Korea, in Seoul.
Yeah, Five Guys is everywhere. I guess they've really made a international play,
which started off as a just like a local place in DC.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't
know where it was founded.
These places all open as one thing. I mean, nobody ever goes, we're going to open a Five Guys and we're going to start with 9,000 locations. Sure. We're just going to hit this. We're going to hit the world like a cum shot.
We're bringing a lot of peanuts everywhere.
Yeah. But apparently the one in Seoul is like a 6-hour wait because they love American stuff.
Yeah. I've heard over in Merrill, England, it's the same way. That like there's one in London, and it's just line out the door all the time.
Wow, that's crazy.
I don't know.
I get it. I don't know. I don't think there's any English places that have that. Have you ever been to an Arthur Treacher's?
No.
It's Arthur Treacher's.
Heard of it, but I don't know. Okay. I wouldn't know what it could be. A menswear store, and it could be I don't know, Magpies. I have no idea.
You could probably buy it. Maybe they have merchandise, but Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips. So it was like a chain of fish and chips restaurant.
That sounds kind of good. Actually.
Yeah, kind of like a Long John
Chippy,
Silver,
as they call it.
Yeah, it was like and it
pop out to the Chippy.
It was like a chain. I mean, maybe Ted would like it, but it was like a chain of like what we would think an English fish and chip shop would look like.
Okay,
and Arthur,
but it's not an English company.
No,
Arthur Treacher. I would like that. I could.
And Arthur Treacher was, I believe, a English actor. You want to look up who Arthur Treacher is? Please?
Yeah, I'm looking up Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips right now. Yeah, because Cleveland.
Yeah. Are they still around?
Looks like there's a few locations, but yeah, they're all in Ohio.
Okay, Ohio, where any of the good seafood places are going to be in Ohio. It's like
right from the lake,
Central Ohio. Ohio, for those of you who don't know, is famously had a river, the Cuyahoga River, which in the 70s, famously, the entire river just caught fire because it was an environmental disaster. Because they used to make cars and stuff out there back when America made things, man.
Oh yeah.
Now all we make are TikToks and transgender teenagers.
Microaggressions.
Yes. Oh, that's good.
Yes,
it's just our principal export. Transgender teenagers
people in the wrong body of their. So the brain doesn't match the body.
So who was Arthur Treacher?
So he's he's an English film and stage actor.
I knew it was that.
Active from the 1920s to the 1960s.
All right, that's golden years.
Known for playing English types.
Okay,
especially.
I wonder
Butler and manservant.
Manservant.
roles.
Wow, that's funny. What is the
Arthur
difference?
Treacher.
Is it just an outfit? Because what is a butler and a manservant? Like, are they?
No,
I
think it's semantics. I think it's
I think like you're maybe like you're it's a more formal relationship with a butler, but your manservant knows your secrets. You know, like right.
Yeah, I feel like manservant has a leverage. Or maybe it's the other way around. Manservant doesn't have dirt on you. Butler, they upgrade you to butler once you know things.
I think butler sounds like you're more locked into like some sort of building hierarchy. You know, like a butler manages the house.
Yeah,
like
you might get points on the back end.
A manservant might sleep in a cot in your bedroom. I need you at all times.
Actually, manservant sounds like maybe you have almost an intimate relationship.
Yeah,
my manservant.
That's right.
My shirtless man boy servant.
Like, for example, I'm watching for a second time on Netflix. It's actually pretty good. You wouldn't like it, but there's Dracula, which was I could
almost get into Dracula.
It's pretty good. And there's only like 3 or 4 episodes, and it's like a little mini series about Dracula. But in this particular mini series, it came out of England, and in the Dracula story, there's a whole part in the book where Dracula is on the boat from Transylvania to London, right? And on the boat, people die because Dracula's eating people, whatever. So, but in the TV show, there's like this very gay, like foppish boy. He's like in his early 20s, and he has his manservant who's this gorgeous black Caribbean guy. And, and the whole time he's like, I pretend to be the manservant, but in reality, I am your lover. And he's like, you can't say that in front of the other passengers.
Oh,
like Huntington.
Yeah, that's exactly what I pictured.
That's your man.
A shirtless Trinidadian.
Yeah. Like,
you do gay stuff with.
Yeah. Like he's biting his lip. Yeah. He's like biting his lip because around other people, you're like, fetch us sandwiches, Huntington. And then like later on that night, he's like drilling him in the shit. And he's like, you think you're a big man.
Because he doesn't make eye contact with him when company's over.
Yeah. And they later on, they're like in post-coitus, they're in bed. He's like, I wish it wasn't this way, Huntington, but this is how the world is in 19th century England.
Yes.
You think the irony is you are my manservant. Oh yes, I am yours. Right.
Behind closed doors. Yeah.
And they spit in each other's mouths. Yeah. So I think it's true.
Ironically, the servant is the top.
Oh, very much.
And the master is actually the bottom. But that's
very much.
I guess that's kind of how it is in life.
I will tell you
when it comes to that.
I will tell you the difference. You know who's the bottom manservant? That would be a houseboy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A houseboy is just like, get over here. I want to fuck you in the ass.
Yeah.
Like, you're not. Yeah. A houseboy just scuttles around the house.
You're like, Bruce.
Yeah.
Never.
Like inventing chores just to get away from you.
Right.
A houseboy, you have to lasso him. You know what I mean? You kind of like, you may be just sitting at the table reading the paper and you just see him go by. You're like, I could use a piece of that. So you're like, come here. And he pretends not to hear you. And part of the foreplay is you chase the houseboy around the house.
Could you imagine? I mean, because like really the reality of the situation is like back then that type of shit would, I mean, there's a heterosexual version of that too, unfortunately. But I mean, imagine you have like a hot kind of housekeeper and you're like, I fucking like, I'm the boss.
Yeah.
So like I get, dude, you have to like illegitimately sire my children.
It happened with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I know, that's what I'm
like
about,
15 years ago. Like it's very much on the table. Like, I mean,
it's not to say that it still doesn't happen all the time with nannies and whatever and housekeepers, but it's like
everybody.
I mean, wow. I mean, it's like just to think of that as a real. I mean, I've met your cleaning lady before.
Oh yeah.
I mean, could you match
Anna? Absolutely. I'd like a piece of that, Anna.
Because it's all about the proximity. It's like whoever's within sort of striking distance for certain people.
And I guarantee in like, Victorian England, there was some like, foppish, like archbishop, or maybe not. That's not a real thing. I don't know, duke or something. Who like his entire staff would be like, boys from Eton, like well paid, handsome Irishmen.
Yeah.
Well, even like Downton. Did you watch Downton Abbey at all?
I saw the movie.
Oh,
I really liked it.
Oh,
it was just with an ex-girlfriend.
Sure.
But And I never really got into the show, but I think I would enjoy it because I like the movie, and I loved what's the American
the
show?
Dowager? No. Oh,
Gilded Age.
yes, me too.
Yeah, that's kind of.
But in Downton Abbey, and I know Ted's
I
like,
call it Downtown Abbey, but
by the way, I think one of the funniest things I ever said was on Twitter. I said I like Downton Abbey. Whatever happened to Downton Judy Brown?
Downton Judy
Downton Julie Brown.
And she was English too, so it's perfect.
Wabba wabba.
It's a perfect joke.
Wabba wabba.
Wabba wabba.
Yeah.
She was
Oh,
hot.
she's gorgeous. Yeah,
I was really into Downton Julie Brown.
It's funny to me because it wasn't as thick as you like them. Did
yeah,
you?
but I'd say, listen, here's the thing. I've gotten labeled as like, my flag, my sort of thing that I'm maybe known for.
The hill you're dying on.
Yeah, exactly. But I've got quite a range actually. So, and especially if it's like just a couple of times.
So
I'm even wider of a range.
So let me ask you this. So with your proclivities, you started off like liking like the skin tone and like that, and then you sort of morphed into.
I mean, honestly, it all happened by accident.
How do you mean?
So
I've never heard your origin story.
You know, I went black. You didn't know how it happened.
Yeah. I thought you were bitten by a radioactive black woman, like Spider-Man.
Radioactive fly girl. It was I was at my friend Ben's concert. He's kind of like a classical,
the whitest name I've ever heard.
Ben, and he was Jewish.
Okay,
he's Jewish.
Ben Shapiro.
And yes, Ben Shapiro when he produced avant-garde musicals. What was at his show, and weirdly, it was
hold on. Was this in New York or Minneapolis?
New York.
Oh, so you would all right.
Yeah, so I was so this has only been going on since I was like 25.
Okay. I thought you moved here for black women. Like it was like a
No, but I will say I do think that it kind of started when I visited New York City the first time in like 99 or something, and I was like, oh God.
It's kind of like when
Lord.
It's like when girls with curly hair move to Phoenix because there's no humidity.
Well, it was I remember the style, maybe been a little later into the 2000s, but I remember the style was green bomber jacket.
Okay.
That, went up to, it was short
cropped,
maybe cropped. Okay. Yeah. But and the waist was real small, and women in Levi's jeans.
Okay.
A lot of really hot, like thick Puerto Rican women in Levi's jeans with the kind of
all right. Okay, sure.
With the like stitching, the contrasting stitching or whatever. And I think that did something to me.
Okay.
I think it was just, it opened something up.
Yeah. Because that is, by the way,
I was like,
what you're describing is a very New York sort of like, that is definitely something that we have.
I remember being like down in Soho on Broadway, like where all the stores were, Houston, and just being like, oh my God.
Yep. Okay. So anyway, so Ben.
Yeah. So my Ben show, and meet a girl named Natalie. She's Dominican.
Okay.
But she's she's very cute. But she's not wearing like super tight clothing or anything like that. So I didn't really get an idea of like what her body was like.
Now, in what context did you meet her? Like a backstage?
Just like, this is a friend of mine or whatever. And it was kind of one of those things where we were kind of the only people that didn't know a lot of people there.
Okay.
Kind of a group of friends.
You guys didn't know all the other Jews.
We were on the periphery of this
look
group
at
of
all these Jews.
So we started talking, and I immediately was like, oh, this girl's cute. And
and
she was kind of buying my bullshit.
Sure.
And we went to, from there, we all kind of, a group of us kind of went out to a couple of bars or whatever, and then got a little tipsier, got a little more
touchy feely.
Candid, and ended up making out a little bit.
Okay.
Then went out with her one time.
Okay.
And she came back to my house. Like, I remember it was very weird because we were down like 2nd Avenue, just kind of on the edge of Alphabet City.
Sure.
At, God, I forget what the name of the bar was, and I remember we were going from one bar to maybe to another, and she just said like, can we just go back to your house?
Oh.
Yeah. So, whoa.
My stars.
Nice, right?
Yeah.
So we went back to my house and we got busy, and she was just, I couldn't really tell because it was also the winter too, so lots of layers.
Okay.
And we went back to my house and she was just stacked, like
Okay.
just fucking
Okay.
like measurements that just defied
Okay. Yeah.
everything that I've
All
ever
right.
experienced
Okay.
in my life. So I think that kind of, and that was, 25, 26 or whatever. And that was really where it started. But she was like darker, like a deep caramel.
So did you, because you seem to be a guy that has like girlfriends. So did you end up dating her for a while, or?
We did, but it was kind of like a situationship, I think you would call it. It was
Okay.
like she ended up going to school in New Mexico.
Oh, well, yeah.
She ended up becoming really Christian.
Oh,
And like
okay.
marrying a guy that's like a pastor.
Oh,
and,
good Lord.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
But
Well,
so she was the kind of girl that was open to that happening.
okay.
But it was just because she went to a school down there. And so she would come back and forth.
Okay.
She actually had a really hot little sister.
Oh,
and
like 11 or 12?
I know.
How young?
I know, like, just, I mean, this girl now is probably 35 and
Okay.
her sister's probably 32 or something.
I guarantee they've hit the wall.
No, still both very.
Oh, so what are you on Instagram with them or Facebook or something?
Facebook, yeah, because you follow people on Facebook.
Sure.
A long time ago.
Sure you did.
Somebody said, "Did Adam just say situationship?" Yes, I realized, and I was saying it kind of like.
Is that a gay thing to say? Stupid.
I mean,
okay,
it's everything.
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah,
cut that part. Cut that part
in
out.
jest.
All right.
Irregardless. But I think we eventually kind of would like it fizzled out. She would come back and forth, and we would just bang when she was here.
Oh,
occasionally see a movie or something. And then I remember I went to her sister's graduation because I kind of had become
from like what, nail technician school or something?
No, these girls were like,
okay, I'm just having fun. Okay. I gotcha.
But
community college. Sorry, just kidding.
Yeah. But and I remember thinking like, oh, well, your sister lives here, and she's single, and there was kind of a flirtatious thing, but I had to kind of okay it with her. You can't just date somebody.
What did she say?
She didn't say anything. Okay, so this was what this.
How did you bring it up?
All right. So I'll tell you because she got to a place where she was like, yeah, I can't just like fuck you when I come home. Like, this is weird, and I want to know, like, it's either going somewhere or it's not. And we're like, it's not going anywhere. And so she kind of gave me the, like, let's just try to be friends speech. Sure. And coincidentally, we had been around her sister quite a bit, and her sister was very attractive, and she was local.
Sure.
And so I kind of was like, what about, I mean, like, would you have an issue with that now that we're just sort of friends?
Hey, buddy.
So her response to that was no response, and then she just went back to fucking me again.
Oh,
yeah, weird, right?
Well, that was kind of her answer.
She was like, "Yeah,
that's an option. That's an answer."
Until she got real Christian, and then it was like, whatever.
That's really funny. It's so funny because I was thinking the other day about girls when I was a lot younger or whatever, and I had this girlfriend, and I probably told stories about her here. Oh, by the way, somebody hit me up on Twitter and it was like, oh yeah, Sasha Knopp said that you guys never dated or whatever. And I know, like, I talk about Sasha Knopp like ad infinitum, but like I say here's the thing, I say dated because it sounds a lot better to say dated than be like we fucked into drugs.
Fucking,
so I'm not,
he's being you're being a gentleman.
So somebody was like, you fucking, she said that you never dated. Well,
yeah, okay, but where did they ask, like, what, how?
I mean, I'm not that worked up about it, but I mean,
I know, but it's also kind of like how inside is some dude on Twitter really, where it's like, listen, I don't know her personally, because if not,
I don't care at all. But if someone happens to be listening, I don't. Oh, no, I like what you did there.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, it was good. But situationship. Yeah, but all I'm saying is that I'm not claiming to have more of a relationship with Sasha than I had.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to not say like what Adam just said.
Yeah, you were kind of casually fucking. You would see each other.
I mean, we would see each other a lot, but I mean, it is kind of funny she doesn't remember. But like, anyway.
I would imagine somebody like that has so many suitors.
Well, and we are at this point, we are talking about 20 years ago. So, and she doesn't not remember spending time with me. It's just some of the stories that I have told. like she remembers the big story. She does
She
remember
remembers
that.
the George Wayne
Yes,
situation.
and she remembers, you know, my what I've got going on in my pants.
Okay.
Because remember, do you remember
Right.
she called into she called into the show
Was
with
that
Kevin.
Burning Bridges? I don't think it was.
Yes,
Or maybe I don't know.
No, it was Burning Bridges. She called in, and because I said, do me, I happened to like, I was talking to her and I was like, can you call into the show and just kind of verify that I have a big
sure.
penis? And she did. And Kevin immediately started going, oh, so you're a whore. And then she was like, what? And I said, you know what? I said, Sasha, just hang up.
Yeah.
And I turned to Kevin.
It's better
I was like, Kevin, well done. That's good. Really.
You kind of had to expect that, right?
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't, whatever. It happened. So my point is there's no point. So anyway,
Sasha don't sell tickets.
Yeah, exactly. Like, sorry, Chad Zumbach. So anyway, so I remember this is like how clueless I was. I was like 19 and I was dating this girl, and my friend Josh had set me up with her, and she was 1 or 2 years older than me. She was really, really pretty girl. I mean, just a sweetheart of a girl. She was an actress, like long black hair, just a terrific body, just a really, really well put together girl. And we started dating. And I remember there used to be a place called Shakespeare and Company, which was
the bookstore.
Yeah, exactly. And she worked there, and she used to steal plays for me. Like, she would come home to my apartment.
That's a romance.
I know, right? She was so nice to me, and she would steal. And meanwhile, I never read plays, but I would always be like, "Oh, thanks, thank you for risking your job and getting arrested for all these." So I had all these stacks of like little, they're little play like French's playbooks. So anyway, so she would come over, and I remember like and she stayed over all the time, and she was the one, and I don't want to get into the whole story, but she was the one where we had a Martin Luther King Day party at my friend's apartment, and she actually came. This is after we'd already broken up, and I invited her to come over, and I was like, hey, let's be friends. And she came over, and it was really weird, and she left after like 10 minutes. And then I said, one of the girls that I knew at the party, there were like 8 of us there, and the girl was like, what happened with her? And I said very cavalierly, I said, we broke up because my dick was too big for her. And then we got a knock on the door, and I thought it was another guest, and it was her. And she was standing at the door, and she immediately punched me in the face.
Wow. And I remember this vaguely, and
she attacked me. I mean, when I tell you this girl, like, she chased me up and down the hallway of my friend's building. Other tenants in the hallway were coming out of the door. They almost called the police. Like, I finally like got in the door. She was screaming and crying. And again, I was very unkind. I don't know. I didn't realize that what I said was so bad, and I wouldn't have said it now. But I mean, I don't know. She really got her feelings hurt. Blah blah blah. And then I remember, like, I checked at the time. I had an entry machine, and she like left the thing. She left the party, obviously, after trying to kill me. And I mean, like, it was the kind of thing where I think, like, my friend Mark. This is the same guy, by the way, that I had sex with a transgender girl with, Mark McKelvey. I don't want to say his last name, but there he did. He's
a pastor now.
I remember he took her. I think he's dead, actually. But I remember he actually physically took her and threw her in the elevator, like physically, like launched her into the elevator.
Good friend.
Well, it was either that or he was going to like get kicked out of the building
and tear the place up.
So she was a Wolverine. I mean, she was like the. What do you call it? Tasmanian devil or something? Sure. And again, I get it. I remember I had like thick scratches on my face and my body.
Wow, so she got a piece of you.
Got many pieces of me. She really did. And I didn't know what to do other than just run away from her. And she kept catching me. So I wasn't. So anyway,
what the way that the nature of you kind of breaking up was that, if I remember correctly, she was kind of more into you maybe than you were into her. And then,
well, here's what happened. So
we were really physically not fit.
Yes, that is a true thing. And I was okay. And again, I'm not defending myself, but I was really young and I was really immature, and I didn't realize that we were boyfriend and girlfriend. I just kind of thought she was staying over. This was fun. And I had already had a girlfriend still from Baltimore, Maria, and it didn't occur to me that I was cheating on anybody. I was just kind of like,
well, hey. I mean, I would argue that if you didn't really have a conversation about it.
we were far enough along where
but she didn't go, what are we, Brian?
But she was
after
also
when you were cuddling after she
after
what are we, Mr. McCarthy?
After putting an ice pack on her vagina that I couldn't.
Did it really was an issue? Of a space?
Not
because I mean I've even had that happen, and I'm not like
here's the
pretty
thing.
average. I think
had I didn't really know what I was doing to begin with, so I probably could have like worked on it more. Does that make sense? Like I probably could have. I was like, yeah, and it was like she was like, ah,
you didn't.
And then I was like, all right, I'm done. So she used to use Paul Mitchell leave-in conditioner, and she'd jerk me off, and that was like.
I thought you were gonna say as lubrication.
Well, it was lubricate, but not for down there. No,
I thought she was. You were gonna say she put that inside of her.
Yeah, no, we discovered pretty early on that like typical coitus was going to be an issue.
Sure,
but neither one of us knew what to do. It wasn't like I didn't like that is a situation like that has happened to me, even. Like not recently, but recently enough where I know, you go slowly and then you just whisper, shut up.
Yeah.
And that always helps, and you go
muffled screams.
Make your hole bigger.
And was it ever a issue of like you were a little floppy?
No,
actually okay.
No.
That's mostly the issue I've had.
No, how dare you? No, this was all girth and length, buddy. No,
right, but I'm saying because of
oh no,
alcohol. That's what I had the unfortunate intersection of teeny vagina and way too much to drink before, and I just kept
that. Oh yeah. I know what that is, but no, this was more a case of like just wasn't happening. Like, but again, I was very inexperienced, and she certainly. Sure. So it just was. We were, and it was kind of the thing where like, oh, this doesn't fit, so let's not. At that age, I was like, I don't want to break her.
So she would just always jerk you up, but she wouldn't blow you.
Good question. No,
because I might blame her for
come
this,
to think of it,
falling apart.
Come to think of it, her mouth was too small too. Come to think of it, she was 7 years old. No, yeah, no, it was a lot of hand stuff. But I will say this: the girl had an amazing body. I just remember, just a beautiful, like, I mean, just everything was like.
I think you would have tried harder.
Well, again, had I
was she a butterface?
No, pretty girl. I will tell you this,
man.
The irony of all of this was. A scant 2 years later, I would have completely known exactly what to do. I was
well, that's the thing too, is that factored into my situation, inexperience.
Yes.
Not knowing how to handle
19 to 21 was those 2 years were like, I was on the precipice of my sexual awakening, if you will. And so but anyway, so I remember with this girl, the one I'm talking about, so I remember like she was over this is when we broke up, and we were over and we were like laying in my bed and we were like, I don't know, fooling around or whatever it is. And then she was kind of like making plans for next weekend. And I just said to her, like very innocently, I was like, oh yeah, listen, I'm not going to be around next weekend because my girlfriend from Baltimore is coming up, as if I'm like Hugh Hefner or something. And she looked at me and she was like, what? I was like, yeah, Maria, a girl that I know from Baltimore. I haven't told you about her because I thought you'd be angry. Like I was so innocently stupid. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I knew that this would really upset you, so I didn't tell you.
I just kind of kept it.
So now I'm telling you now because we're making plans, and my dick is covered in leave-in conditioner, and
my urethra's burning. I just figured I'd bring it up.
Yeah. So I remember she looked at me and she was like, she was like, we're like, kind of thing. And I was like,
an item.
And I remember saying to her, I was like, no. After next weekend, I'm back on the team. I need a break. I need to tap out of this for a weekend, And of course, I didn't tell Maria that I was dating this girl. I was just very.
So do you think it was because you cared more about the Maria side than the?
I think I literally think you could chalk it up to I didn't know any better.
Wow.
And also, I will say this: when I was that age. If there was something that you thought was going to be unpleasant for someone to hear, you just don't tell them. And
that's kind of
and you
sort of thumb across the board,
and you stay in the pocket. So it's kind of like, all right, well, listen, Maria will come up here. I'll tell this girl. She'll be a little upset, but Maria's coming up regardless. I can't have Maria up here staying in the apartment while Paul Mitchell is going to be here at the same time. I'll tell Paul Mitchell. She'll get over it. And then she'll come back and she's kind of the main one because she lives in New York anyway. Right. And oh, by the way, I'm still on the market. Like, so
yeah, and we're still hiring, actively recruiting.
If anybody else wants to jump on this ship, so yeah, so she, and it was really funny because my friend Josh Weinstein, who he was the guy, I told you how I had this studio apartment and he used to have this married girl pee on him. Like, okay.
Yeah, would he come over and use your tub or something?
Well, he would I remember the time he came over and
lay down tarps.
He laid down, he had put down all these like cut up Glad trash bags, like lawn and garden trash bags.
You gotta get big leaf bags.
Yeah, leaf bags
for the water sports.
Sure. So I came over. I remember like I lent him my apartment. He had keys to my apartment, and I came back one time, and my trash can was full of cut up garden trash bags. And
God, and they had been used already.
Oh, they had been like, I don't know, mopped up or something. They were. I didn't like. They probably were pretty damp. I don't know what it was, but I remember saying to him, I was like, "Hey, what's going on with that?" And he goes, "Oh, she wanted to pee on me, so I went to the bodega and I bought trash bags and we put them down so that." I was like,
maybe throw those down the incinerator.
Thank you,
please. Maybe
trust me, this building. I just left from the hallway. This building was not. This building had no front door to it. Matter of fact, yeah. So anyway, but Josh, they were both in the same. He was a couple years older than me, and he knew her from acting school and whatever else, and he lied to her and said that he and I, like, he told her all these lies about me to get her to like me. It was very weird. And so then he called me and he was furious. He was like, "Hey, I don't remember her name. Paul Mitchell just called me and said that you broke her heart." And I was like, kind of like, what do you care? Like, you were part of the subterfuge or whatever to get this girl to even, you know what I mean? Like, why now you have a conscience? Really? Yeah, you weirdo. Anyway.
Yeah, right. You lied to get my foot in the door.
Yeah, and I fucked it up, and now I'm the bad guy. You know, like we all.
This whole thing's a sham.
Yeah, what is this going to end in like a marriage? Right. So anyway, and then so I started to sort of figure it out, like, eventually. But I just remember like laying in on my futon on the floor with this girl and being like, "Oh, hey, yeah, I know you're making plans for us to go to like Central Park and have a picnic, but I've got somebody else coming over next week."
Buying cheeses and planning a trip to Sheep's Meadow.
Hey, sweetheart, listen, I gotta take a mulligan next weekend, baby. So anyway, but that was just a funny thing. So that is how you discovered your Black girls. So just kind of
Well, I sort of graduate. Yeah, it started there, and then
right
darker.
Now you're like, and now I work with Haitian missionaries. Exactly. Oh my God, that's really funny. All right, well, should we see who's there to say hi for a minute?
Check in with some folks.
Hey, everybody, welcome.
Folks.
By the way, if you
Our boy Ted.
Hi, Ted. Ted's like Arthur. Ted's probably like, Arthur Treacher is a national treasure. Don't make fun of him.
Yeah.
Listen, he's obviously one of their best and brightest. He came over here and opened a fish and chip chain.
Yeah.
Kind of like Andy Capp. Remember Andy Capp?
No, I mean, I feel like I've heard the name.
Andy Capp was a news, like what do you call them? Like funnies, like Doonesbury.
Oh, comics.
And Andy Capp was a guy who I think originated in England. He was like a Cockney guy, and he always smoked and he drank. And I think in the early part of it, he beat his wife, and then he changed it where she beat him up. And the whole comic would be like, the first panel would be like, the wife would be like, "Cool, where's that Andy? I need him to come over here and beat out the rugs in, he would." Mm-hmm. And then the next panel would be Andy Capp sitting at the pub. He'd like to watch soccer, and he'd have a cigarette in his mouth and a pint in front of him, and he'd be talking to the bartender, and he'd go, and he actually standing, because they don't have seats in bars in England. Maybe they do where Ted goes.
All, huh?
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. Anyway,
big stool culture.
They have like standing. Well, no, you would stand, get your drink, and then go sit at a table. Maybe there are places with stools, but most places don't have. Maybe Ted can chime in on that one. But so I remember he would be standing there. The next panel, he'd have his like pint of lager bitters or whatever, and he'd be like, "There's something I forgot to do for the missus. I don't know what it is." And the next panel would be her beating him up with a rug in front of the pub. And then he would be like, "Oh, this is the carpet I remembered." And anyway, so it was very popular. And then they started opening a bunch of miniature golf courses. I only know this because I looked up Andy Capp on Wikipedia a couple years ago, and I was like, whatever happened to Andy Capp? because it did start off. It started off where he was like a real misogynist, where it'd be like that was like the 50s, where you'd be like, I love this comic where this little English guy beats the shit out of his wife, and he's an alcoholic, and but
relatable.
They changed it eventually to where she beat him up, but. Anyway, Arthur Treacher. So, all right. So Ted's here.
All
Hi,
right.
Ted.
Hey, Ted. He
What's
says,
up?
"Hey, ladies."
Hey, gorgeous.
Yeah,
What's
I like
up, Teddy
that.
boy.
I like that kind of gentle ribbing.
Let's pick up. You know what? Let's do a little business right now. Can we do?
Okay.
Hey, Ted. 2 weeks from now, you want to be on the show?
Oh yeah, Ted. We can.
We want to do your.
We can literally just send you the link on Facebook, and you can jump on. It's very easy.
Yes.
StreamYard. You don't have to download anything. You just open it up and.
Adam will take care of it. So
in the browser.
We don't need to like gunk up the whole show right now. But if you're interested,
if you want to, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Okay.
So let us know.
That's your on
that. That is August 4th. My God, am I even right about that? 5, 6, 7.
The 11th.
Oh.
If it's 2 Fridays from now.
Okay.
Next week is the 4th.
Okay.
Yeah, the 11th. It's a date if you want it.
So hit up Adam in the DMs, or you just get a hold of Adam.
We're Facebook friends. So
good.
I'll just
done. Okay.
I think he's friends with the Brian McCarthy page, which I believe I also have access to on my phone. So
okay. So we'll figure it out.
Talk.
Hopefully it works out, Ted.
I mean, it's as simple as like we could literally send it to him on here while doing it.
Ted can handle it.
Bob's your uncle, as they say.
Well, you'll need you'll need a ring light. Just kidding.
Hardwired internet.
Yeah. Try to wear a suit.
Yeah.
If you don't like, dress up for it.
Mm-hmm. Hello to Jimmy.
Hi, Jimmy.
But I can be 18. None of these make sense because it's all stuff we talked about. Hello to Soft 17.
Ooh, Soft 17. Sounds like you. Sounds like you're 17 inches with soft with drinking.
Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds like a shower, not a grower.
Oh, you son of a
know what I'm saying?
Bitch.
Hello to Josh Jack.
Hi, Josh. What's up?
Josh says, "Yay, just Brian and Adam."
Oh,
tired of these unfunny bimbos. That's not very nice.
How dare you? Well, listen, I do know that sometimes people like it when it's just us. So it's just us. So there you go. Yeah. And I don't think we have any bimbos until Ted comes on.
Right.
Ted, you better not be an unfunny bimbo. This guy Josh.
I also just want to clarify because Josh says Adam likes those Lizzos. He said that, and I just want to clarify. I do not.
Is that too much?
No.
That's the tipping point.
No, you can't be big in the middle.
Ah, yes.
You gotta, yeah. She's just kind of like.
Does anybody like that? I mean, I'm saying like.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure.
I don't know.
It's just not. It's not my thing.
You got to be disappointed when there's a big middle like that.
Unless, you can't.
Unless they're preggers. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. All right.
Right.
Now, yeah.
But yeah, it's funny because like it's weird because in the sort of in the media or in show business or whatever, there's not really the kind of chicks that I'm into aren't really like not really there. There's not really actresses.
Okay, let's talk about this for a minute.
Yeah, please.
I think there's a version of it. Like the closest thing to what you like. Actually, you know what's funny?
Like Niecy Nash or something.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
I don't know. She's from Reno 911.
Oh yeah, I know. Yes.
She's on the high end. Like
okay, here's what it is. A sanitized version of what you like, and you're gonna kind of call bullshit on this.
Sure.
But a sanitized version of what you like is Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like Kim Kardashian.
Exactly my point.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like the Hollywood or the popular culture version of the Dominican girl, the girls you dated, the girls that you end up with would be their version of it is an Armenian.
Yeah.
Right.
They're like, that's as dark as we go.
Yes. Or like J-Lo, like a Puerto Rican.
Yeah, but even J-Lo's a spinner to me. Like,
yeah, but you know what? Have you ever seen her like in real life?
No,
real life,
she's
pretty. Like she's pretty,
and it is very different in pictures, video, everything. It's very deceptive. You see somebody in real life, it's like, totally different. She could also be trimmer than I would imagine too.
I think
it's weird.
Yeah, she's a lot of like stilts, and there's a lot of like holding that up. Like I don't, plus she's like 52 or something. So like my point is like the Hollywood, but I think you're right. But there is a version of what you like.
Maybe like Lauren London. She's kind of a thicker.
I don't know who that is, but
she was in that god awful movie with the thing with Jonah Hill where she was like
Schindler's List.
Where they didn't kiss because of like they said it was because of COVID protocol.
And you're talking about
I don't know if she's really.
I know who you mean.
Body wise, though.
You're talking about the movie that they made. It's the Netflix.
You People, right?
You People, right?
Yeah. Oh no, she's just pretty average.
Yeah. So he's
Yeah, I don't-
right. Yeah, but no, but not a
Eh.
not a Lizzo.
Okay, yeah, no, like a Lauren London might be. Yeah, she
Yeah.
could be.
Yeah.
She's well, I mean, she's in everybody's wheelhouse. Nobody's kicking
I don't
Lauren.
even.
She's beautiful.
Okay.
Nobody's kicking her out of
Oh,
bed
by the way, did you happen to
for eating
see?
crackers.
Hey, this is Brian and Adam's Hollywood Minute.
Yeah,
But
I'm
yeah.
Billy Bush.
Yeah, right. Did you happen to see the Jonah Hill texting to his?
Yeah,
Oh
sure.
my god, he comes off as such a douchebag.
Yeah.
I got to tell you too. If we're going to talk about anybody, let's get through this and then we'll
Okay.
get back to the thing.
Josh Jack.
Hi, Josh. By the way, if you see the T-shirt that I'm wearing, the interview show T-shirt,
Yeah.
I'm going to be opening an Etsy store.
Okay.
Where we're going to have these shirts because Adam made this graphic and I really like it. So we're going to have it. I'm wearing a sample shirt from Printify. I don't know if I like. I think I do like it because
it's a little.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a little Gildan.
What does that mean?
You know, it's like not like super soft.
Okay.
The quality.
You know what? Thank you for saying that because I'm on that fucking Printify website and they have like 800 T-shirts.
Oh, so you can switch up the.
Well, you pick the T-shirt and you pick the design and then they make them to order. So, for example, if you wanted a Brian McCarthy interview T-shirt, you would go on, but you couldn't pick which T-shirt you want because there's 8 million of them. You would go, oh, I want the T-shirt, and then it would have to be whatever T-shirt like I selected to sell to you. Does that make sense?
Right.
So I tried this. So what they do is they go, oh, you can order a sample. So I ordered this as a sample because this was like a premium shirt. Even this is $25. So like I'm like, what am I going to sell the thing for? Number one, I'm not gonna make any money on this anyway. I just want people to wear them. Who cares? It'd be funny. But like my point is like you go on this, it's a rabbit hole. You go on the Printify website and they have like fucking T-shirt after T-shirt, and you're like, oh, this one has 18% rayon. This one is 30%. I don't know, lamb cunt or who knows. And
it used to be when I don't know if American Apparel is still a thing, but that was easy because you would just go, I just want the American Apparel because you know it's always comfortable.
Yes, there is an American Apparel. You know what? Maybe, but even American Apparel, there are because now I don't think there are American Apparel stores anymore. No. Right? Because didn't that guy get canceled or something? Wasn't he raping everybody?
I think he's also like just a shifty guy too.
Okay, he's like American Apparel. We make them in America, and by make them, I mean they're made in China.
Yeah, well, it was like I guess it was like downtown LA, and it was like basically just Mexican immigrants that they were paying $4.50. Like, so it was like our sweatshop is here.
Yeah. It's a local
domestic sweatshop.
You know how expensive it is to hire Americans. Okay.
Yes. They want to be insured.
Yeah, I got insured. I need my baby. The
whole thing.
My baby's sick. Listen, get back to there. Hey, churro head. Right. Anyway, my point is like there are even with American Apparel, there are different versions of American Apparel shirts.
Yeah, right. So there's the 50-50.
Anyway, so I'm glad you said that because I certainly like the design. And also I want people to be able to, can't believe we're talking about the fucking T-shirt, but I want people to be able to order the shirt in pink because I'm a big fruit.
Of course.
And but a lot of the shirts aren't offered pink as a color scheme. So you have to find a shirt that is soft enough to where you're going to want to wear it, that is inexpensive enough where I'm not going to lose money selling it to people, and also has enough of a color wheel that has the color. So it's turned into kind of a thing.
It's his full-time job. He's doing this.
And so I'm trying to, as a matter of fact, and my wife, because of my vision, she has to like help me with it. And you have to do it from the website, there's no app. It's a lot. For some reason, I was kind of like, oh, I'll have an Etsy store because I buy all my Darth Vader shit on Etsy. And I was like, oh, I'll just get it here. And it turns out it's like, I mean,
it's a whole thing.
I feel like Oppenheimer trying to make the nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, who else?
Okay, we're going down the line. Hello to Decline.
Hi,
Hello
Decline.
To Jimmy.
Hi, Jimmy.
Hello to Key.
Hello, Key. Is that like
hey, where's Peel?
Fucking this guy knows it. I thought he's in orange or something.
Oh, Key says, when did you realize you were hung?
Oh, good question. When as I think I mentioned, when I was like 14 and 15, maybe even 13, who am I kidding? But when I would make out with girls and I thought it was going to go somewhere, I would just kind of pull it out and be like, yeah, here it is.
As one does.
Yes, as one does. Against a tree, usually. In somebody's backyard or an alley. I had a lot of alley groping. And I started to hear from various girls, they'd be like, "Whoa,
well, hello there."
And also, I will say, as some of you might know, I was a big truth or darer as a kid, and a lot of times in truth or dare, it would be like, "Show everybody your blah blah blah."
Yeah, it's a great getting a foot in the door, getting pervy stuff happening.
It is. I'm telling you right now.
I don't know if kids still do play truth or dare, but it's a great.
They probably play truth or trans.
You know,
am I right?
I played truth or dare at a housewarming not that long ago, and it got dicey.
I want to hear about that. But to answer your question, Key, I started to hear rumblings of it. You know what I mean? Sort of like, this guy's really
the Baltimore Free Press.
Yeah, I mean, God, look at this guy. Your peckers are unbelievably large. Yeah. But and then once I started to, like the girl from the girl that I just talked about with the Paul Mitchell stuff and everything else. So then it became sort of a thing. But again, I will say that now I think that as we've gotten into the 21st century, I think there's like a new generation of penises that are much larger than mine. Like,
well, and there's the racial component, which is like, maybe for a white dude.
Yes. I always heard that part.
But I think when you get into anything else, other than Asian.
Yeah, because I watched even like there's a porn star that maybe you know, maybe you don't. But remember Peter North?
Yeah, for sure. The decorator.
Thank you.
I'm a big fan.
Shooting ropes. Right.
You started out gay for pay.
Even Peter North, I think now if he got into porn, his penis would just be average.
Yeah, probably.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I watch it now. I mean, sometimes I don't. I mean, if I watch it like that guy, the one that Sarah J liked, the French guy.
I don't remember.
Manuel Ferrara. Like that
guy's
got a hog on him. Like I'm just,
he's very good looking.
He's gorgeous.
Yeah, Manuel Ferrara.
Yeah, and he wears cargo shorts and like a t-shirt too. He doesn't really. He's like, hey, everybody, the girl coming over here, and she's so beautiful. And they all seem to love him. Yeah, he's having a good time.
Yeah, he's having a great fucking time.
Yeah, and even Sarah J, not a bad word to say about the guy.
Nope.
Yeah. Marcus London, the English guy, nobody likes that guy.
Oh, okay.
He also owned a London. He owned a, I know we're all over the map here, but he owned, when I worked in that industry, I used to always get models for anybody watching. If you go to ocmodeling.com, that was the agency that I got the talent from. And then, but this guy owned LA Direct was his modeling agency, but he also did porn stuff. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking of this guy, Marcus London, because remember those soft white underbelly things I was talking about? He was interviewed on soft white underbelly. I was like, is that Marcus London? Oh, I guess it is. Anyway,
quite a get.
Yeah. So early on, but then and that's it. So that's it. So what else do you have? Anybody else? Go ahead, Ted.
Ted says stools are very rare. Andy Capp was a northern wife beating drunk.
Yes, exactly right. But as we got through the 20th century, he ended up being more of a tragic figure. I think. But in the very beginning, it was like a hilarious thing. He'd be like, sorry, I'm late, mates. Me wife, I had to put her face through a window. I did, Yeah. So,
Yeah.
But, and they also, you remember Andy Capp hot fries?
No.
Yeah. It was like a snack.
I don't know any of this stuff.
They were like little potato sticks and they were covered in like spicy powder. And they were called
Capp hot fries.
Yes.
Got to bring them on as a sponsor. I think they would be interested in giving us an offer code.
You could probably buy, promo code wife not listen. All right.
Highway HWY Clover.
Hey, buddy.
Says, quick question, boys.
Sure.
Looking for a fancy place for dinner in Park Slope.
Oh, that's a good question.
You're talking to him.
All right.
You're talking to the guy right here.
Al D La, ALDILA on Fifth Avenue. That is the spot to go to. I believe it's an Italian spot. I'm a little out of practice because it's been a while, but I'm pretty sure they're still around. Al D La. They are a Michelin-starred restaurant on Fifth Avenue in beautiful Park Slope. And funny enough, I was there once and I brought one of my kids and they were a baby and they didn't have a baby seat in the restaurant, like a high chair. So I went to another restaurant on the block and just borrowed a high chair and I brought it in and I was like,
really?
Well, because I got annoyed with the restaurant because when I made the reservation, I was like, hey, just so you know, I have a baby with me.
And you clarified ahead of time.
And they were like, okay. And then I showed up and
thought they had a high chair.
And they just weren't able to accommodate people with infants, which was weird because Park Slope is full of infants. So you find out if it's still open, the place.
What's it called?
Al D La, ALDILA. See, when we get into the YouTube people, we get into the YouTube people. We're
Eldela.
Yeah.
Trattoria.
Trattoria.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's still around.
It's so that's an Italian spot.
Yes, sir.
Looks like it's open.
Okay, good.
And it's a Michelin rated.
That's what I told you.
Because it's crazy because there's another Michelin rated Italian spot that I go to all the time in Astoria.
Gosh, shut up.
Yeah, and they always talk about how they're like, there's not many Michelin, not many gelato to die for.
Yeah,
I bet. Mouthfeel.
Hey, well, you know the great thing. Hey, wait, I got something good. You know the good thing about a Michelin starred restaurant, you never get tired of the cooking.
Yeah,
like tired.
Yeah, tired. Okay. Michelin tired.
Anyway, Aldi Law, that's your answer. There you go.
Yeah, you never get tired of the menu because they switch it up so much.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Michelin.
Yeah, but they might jack up the prices.
Yeah,
the tire jack.
Right. Anyway. And then when you get full, your belly, you rubber real good.
Yeah,
that was a reach.
Oh, that one was
that. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, so there you go. Aldi Law. What else do we have?
Let's keep going. Let's see what else we got. Looking for he expands. Looking for a place with a good oyster selection and steaks.
Oh, all right. There is a place. You got to go to Carroll Gardens for that one. I can't remember the name of it, but if you look up Frank's, the same people that own Frank's Putino.
Okay.
There's a place that has that over there. But that's in Carroll Gardens. So I'm sorry.
Oh, and then he keeps
what?
This keeps getting more elaborate. And then he says, Brian, would you be amenable to going out with my girlfriend and I for dinner sometime?
Yes.
I can answer that 100%.
1,000,000%.
100% he would.
Plus, I'm on Ozempic, so I'm a cheap date.
Yeah.
I'll have one oyster, please.
Yeah. Just one little calamari ring.
And by the way, if you want me to watch you guys fuck, that would be crazy, but I'd be into that too.
Yeah. That would be weird, but you could talk me into it.
Hit me up on the Brian M Show on Instagram. Hit me up on a DM and we'll figure it out.
Oh, Ted brings up a great point.
Go ahead, Ted.
SZA. Do you know who SZA is?
SIZZA?
SZA. She's an R&B singer.
No.
Yes, Ted. In music, though, there's hot, thick ladies.
Yeah, music. Music
is a different thing. So if we're talking about music, that's like
we're talking about actresses. The world
is my oyster
that have performed at the Old Vic. We're talking about right. No, yeah,
but yeah, SZA is.
Is she English or is she English?
My dream lady.
Oh, really?
Oh, she's so gorgeous. I think she might be into the ladies more so.
Really?
And we'll say that that's why I don't have a shot too. We'll just go with that.
Okay. It's interesting.
That's the only thing that's holding.
I don't think
keeping us apart.
Is she like R&B or what is
yeah.
R&B. I would think because you can't be like R&B. A gay male R&B singer. They don't go for that.
You kind of can. I mean, Frank Ocean is it's tricky. Like Frank Ocean.
Are you saying the tide has turned?
Shut up. This guy's fucking quick.
Yeah, I'm on it.
But he was very famous, and then he was like, "Oh, by the way, I'm gay." I think. Tyler, the Creator, is he's saying he's a gay guy.
All right, because I know
he's been gay, but that was weird because he's a rapper, and people are like, "Ooh,
yeah."
There's like gay,
and there's the one guy who did the cowboy song who's super gay.
Oh, which they say there's like
what do they
rumblings say? that was like just for
dude. Okay,
Lil Nas, that was
Nas.
just for attention. I worked with him once, and I will say, granted, this was only over Zoom. He seemed like the gay. He was like shirtless and like oiled up and wearing red leather pants. Like, if that guy's not gay, then
he's really working the bit.
Fuck.
Yeah. No, I will say this. Yeah, I don't think if he's going a long way to prove a point that nobody asked him to prove. Like like he's really He's like the kind of guy. He's in such deep cover that he doesn't even know anymore. He's like those cop movies where they're like they get up in the morning. He's like, I don't know if I'm a gangster or if I'm the police anymore.
Yes.
What am I? I look in the mirror. I don't recognize me.
Right.
I think
I don't know where the country ends and the hip hop begins.
No, I saw him on SNL, and I had to my TV got greasy.
Yeah, he is gay as the day is long.
Yes, absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah, I don't care.
As the kids say, I'm here for it.
Like there was a do you remember Tevin Campbell?
Sure.
Okay, well, Tevin Campbell famously is gay. And I mean, this is 25 years ago, but then he got arrested because Tevin Campbell hooked up with a guy in a rest stop or something like that. Like he got arrested for some gay public, kind of like a George Michael thing, and it killed his career. Because
Really?
well, this
I
is
didn't know that.
25 years ago,
Yeah.
R&B, it wasn't like it is now. So
Sure.
I
No,
mean,
you got to be fucking.
or at the very least,
you got to drive the ladies wild.
like Luther Vandross was gay, right?
Was he? I didn't know that.
I thought so.
That makes sense.
He was gay for sandwiches.
Because I know gay, like a lot of his songs are very like huge and sort of in the gay community, right?
Yeah, but he was like the black Liberace kind of, because nobody ever but you would see him
that's probably gonna be the album title. Right there.
Okay, good. Black Liberace, yeah. But you would see him in and he would always be like 500 pounds or 180 pounds or a tragic figure, if you will. But well, isn't Tyler Perry is gay as shit?
Is he? I don't know.
Yeah,
these guys are all on the down low, huh?
Well, but they're then down low, like in plain sight, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean he might be openly. I don't know. If I Google it,
what is Tyler Perry gay?
Is Tyler Perry gay? Would it be?
I mean, and by the way, while we're on it, why do all black guys like to dress up like big fat women?
Because hilarious.
Yeah, but not. I mean,
it's unanimous.
Yeah, but why is that even funny? Like, why is Medea funny? Or
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know that it is really. I mean, I don't know.
Dude,
I mean, well, because Eddie Murphy did the kind of some of that, like Nutty Professor.
Yeah, the Crumps or whatever.
What's the Crumps Coming to America? Like, didn't he do didn't he dress up as?
Okay, Eddie Murphy is an extreme example of just someone who's a comic who likes to dress up like characters. But I'm talking about like Medea, even like Martin had a character that he would dress up as, like a woman that he.
I guess it's like a. I don't know. Maybe it's a thing.
But did you look up Tyler Perry gay?
I mean, people say generally no, but I don't.
Have you seen that guy's eyebrows? Straight people don't look like that.
That's the thing. That's why because I have serious caterpillars, and that's why I don't do anything to manicure them, because it's like you're either gay or a Guido.
Please pull up a picture of Tyler Perry and just tell me what you think. If you didn't know that was Tyler Perry,
me twice.
Yeah, no kidding. You're like, let me pull it up in my favorites file.
Yeah, right.
Let me pull it up in my jerk off folder,
my background and my screensaver, my lock screen.
I'm like, I didn't know Tyler Perry even had ringtones.
Right. Oh yeah, he. I agree. Yeah. I barely knew what he looked like. Yeah, and he does look.
I mean,
totally gay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might just not be confirmed. I mean, they say there's a lot of people that they say are.
Of course, 100%. But I mean, he's the kind of guy like in interviews, he'd be like, "Well, I'm sorry, my wife couldn't be here because she's sick." Like it's always like,
or he brings his mom.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I'm crazy about women. I buy my wife's clothes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I dress her up like a Barbie doll. Like I don't even sound like Tyler Perry, but like. It's the kind of thing where did you ever see there's a really funny South Park where they have Token on the show. He's the only black kid, and Tyler Perry comes to town, and every time Tyler Perry dresses up Madeira, Token hates that he laughs at it. Like he can't help himself. He's like, oh no. So like,
I feel like that's what it is. Yeah.
It's like, but it's hugely popular. I mean, but not for us. Like Tyler Perry movies, I can't watch 10 seconds of a time.
I don't know that I've ever seen one. I think I'm gonna this weekend.
Why?
I don't know, just because I never have.
Dude, it's like The Ring. If you can make it through 10 seconds,
I'm gonna The Room. We're gonna watch The Room, and then we're gonna watch Tyler Perry.
I mean, they are not made for an audience of people that don't, because how Tyler Perry got started. They were doing these, like there used to be these touring, like black, like they would come to the Beacon Theater. There'd be like black plays. It'd be like, and they still are out there, but that's how they started. And then it became a thing. And now the guy's a billionaire. So good for him. I mean, I'm not like, I don't want to sound like I hate any of it. It just doesn't, it's just not, I mean, I feel the same way about country music. Somebody was telling me recently that country music is now, there are black people doing country music. And there's like rap.
The guy. Oh yeah. It's the guy, actually, I worked with this dude, Kane Brown, who's like, he's mixed.
Okay.
But he he talks like a real good old boy from Tennessee. But he's black. I mean, he's mixed, but he's like, or like Patrick Mahomes. I know you're a football guy, but like he's, his mom is blonde. And so he's kind of like, he sounds like kind of like a white dude from Kansas City.
Brown guy, his debut album is called One of the Good Ones.
Right. But there's people that I think are blacker than like a Cambridge that are more black. That are, but it's everything. Well, basically, the thing is like rap influenced everything commercially. So it's like you have
but
what they would call like trap drums are on like a AT&T commercial, right? So
right.
it's everything in the mainstream is sort of influenced by rap now. So,
and what's funny is what
country pop,
what I would
everything.
consider rap doesn't really even exist anymore. Like you know what I mean?
It's not like on the charts. Yeah, it exists. There's like
it's not having a moment.
Stone's Throw, and there's like
right,
little.
Don't show off with your.
I'm just
Stone's
saying,
Throw.
like, there's the people in the chat know what I'm talking about.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, it's a lot of real niche motherfuckers in here. Anytime you say anything about anything, they like have way more information than we do. But there's a lot of like, I can't even think of Boot Camp Click. I think that's in New York. That's a New York version. But there are. I mean, it's still happening, but yeah, it's not like commercial like it was in the 90s.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, I don't. And by the way, I'm saying I think it's wonderful that now the shit kicking country western music is now done by. I want it to be terrible music made by everybody.
Yeah,
so.
And it's always popular country has always been the worst. I mean, in my opinion, the worst genre of music.
Yes.
So now it's like it's so weird that it's just like I don't know, whatever. Like I can't even be mad at it. I mean, I would never really hear it.
I remember about a year and a half ago, I went to visit Paul Denon in Puerto Rico, and for Paul for his birthday, he chartered rather, I guess that's the term, this like a yacht, but I'm saying yacht like it was a very big, very nice boat, like a $2 million boat, which is big, but you wouldn't. Boats are really expensive. Like a $2 million boat, you would look at it and you wouldn't be like, "That's $2 million." But a very nice boat. Has like a kitchen on it, and you could sleep 4 people on it, and it was a really nice boat. And it was in the captain of said vessel was Puerto Rican, and he was playing like reggaeton and what's the bachata? Yeah. Which, by the way, and I don't think I've admitted to this on the show because I'm not really, but I sucked a bunch of dicks. No, I took mushrooms.
Okay.
On the boat, not a lot, but I took like they make these.
That's the best to not take a lot.
Well, yes and no, but
start small.
It was like a little dark chocolate bar. And I ate like half of it, and Paul ate half of it, and it was really nice. But like, I guess I'm kind of supposed to be sober, so that was kind of. But I don't drink. I don't drink.
The thing with like nobody's ever like, I'm stuck. I'm fucking hooked on. I sold all my appliances to buy mushrooms. It's like you can't even really get. I mean, now you can get a hold of them.
Yeah, I was eating.
Available.
I was eating 9 pounds of mushrooms a day.
I did mushrooms not that long ago, and again, it's like I can't dial in the amount. So like I did with my girlfriend. She had a fucking blast. We took the same amount. She had a blast.
Right.
And I was like, for the first 4 hours, it was way too much. And then the last like 2 or 3 hours were fun.
When you say way too much, what do you mean?
Just I'm freaking out.
Oh, really?
Like I'm curled up in my room. Like we had plans to go do all this shit.
What a lightweight.
Yeah, just
she's over there like fucking riding the rainbow.
Right.
That's funny. But anyway, my point is like to the country music thing. So we were listening to this bachata and reggaeton, and that shit sounds. The stereo was really good on the boat, and it sounds amazing. Like I was on these mushrooms, and I'm like,
that's a good time. Yeah,
there was a song where he's going, at one point he's going, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, suck a dick, and I'm out, out, fuck you. Fuck you. And I actually found the song on Spotify, the fuck you song.
That sounds like a delight.
It's like a dick in your mouth, and I'm out, and I'm out, and I'm out.
Brushing your teeth, getting ready for work in the morning.
And like high, it was very produced with like high voices. It was all over the place, and I was really enjoying it. And there was one guy who had lived in Korea for a long time, and he lived in Ohio, and he was really wanted to hear like country music, like on the boat. Oh. And I remember somehow he got.
That's why you throw that guy overboard,
dude. I'm not even kidding. I am not
a life vest.
I am not a violent guy, but I'm listening to this bachata, and I'm on the front of the boat.
Oh, that's boat music.
And I'm like fucking grooving. All of a sudden, I hear like the twangiest, but it was like new country. Like it was like what you'd hear like.
What are we in the Ozarks?
I went over and I knew the guy because I told the guy beforehand, even before we got off the boat. He was like, "Yeah, I really want to hear like And I said to him, and all, because we took a one of those Mercedes Sprinter buses from San Juan out to Fajardo.
Fun, yeah.
And I remember saying to the guy, I was like, listen, I know that you and I just met each other, but I don't want to hear any country music, and you didn't pay for this boat, so I would appreciate it if you kept that.
You said that to the Ohio guy?
Yeah, I said I would appreciate. Yeah,
listen, motherfucker, whoever pays for the boat.
Yeah, and I told him
it's
very, because he was kind of like laughing about it, like, oh, I'm going to put it on.
Yeah, we're not.
And I was like, I switched my flight because I thought I didn't want to miss a boat. I'm down here to surprise Paul. I don't want to hear any of your horse shit country music. Right. You're from Columbus. Like, I was like, and I thought he was like, I think he thought I was kidding around. And then we got on that boat, and at some point, I guess he convinced the captain to put him, and then he's like grooving, and I went over to him and I was like, what did I fucking say? I'm like, I don't want to hear. I was like, Jesus. This goes off, and I went to the captain and I was like, listen, I'm speaking for Paul or whatever. I'm like, take this off right now.
Yeah, you're like, you want the check to clear?
Yeah. I'm like,
fucking cut the guy Kenny Chesney.
It got a little weird, and I was like,
yeah, I'd probably give him a couple songs.
No, because it's like
zero.
It's
zero
like
tolerance.
A fungus. I wanted to let him know immediately this was not acceptable, because everyone on the boat was like, "What is going on?" But it was on for all of 30 seconds before I was like, "This is coming off." So anyway, anybody else, or we good?
That guy. Yeah,
fuck that guy for life.
Ted says, "Hit me up. We will.
Okay, Ted's on the boat.
We will coordinate.
All right.
Let's just say hi to a lot. If we said hi to Key, we said hi to Decline.
Hi,
Highway Clover.
Hey, buddy.
Yes, he will have dinner with you and your girlfriend.
Figured out. I'm not going to make Adam.
Hit me up. Hello to Julian.
Hello, Julian.
Hello to
Julian.
Jacob.
Hi,
Jacob says, besides Gallagher's, what's the best in Manhattan, would you say?
Steakhouse, he means.
Yeah.
Or strip club?
No, strip club.
Oh.
Yeah, Gallagher's isn't in Manhattan.
I got a new one for you.
Please, and also maybe for me.
Yeah, in Queens. And we have to go. Riviera.
Oh, I've been. You like it?
I've heard my trainer. I know it's obnoxious. Sorry.
I mean, I haven't been in years, so I would be happy to go back.
My trainer Derek told me that it was phenomenal, but
it's very expensive. It's totally different than Gallagher.
And I will tell you this: when strip clubs are so subjective that somebody might say a place is fantastic, and it may be fantastic for them for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I guess I would want to know what his priorities are.
Yes, but I've heard. To answer your question, and again, you're asking if you've never been to Gallagher's, you got to go to Gallagher's. So there's that.
He's asking maybe Manhattan.
For Manhattan, and again, it depends what you're looking for. If you have a credit card, or if money's no object, I have to say the Hustler Club.
Okay.
Because the Hustler Club is just nothing but private rooms. So you go in, and you can get up to all kind of nonsense at the Hustler Club, but that's what that is. But if you're looking for like a more of a club environment on 31st Street, Rick's Cabaret.
Oh, I like Rick's too. I would recommend Rick's.
Rick's is a lot of.
Rick's is like a nice happy medium between all of these.
Yes.
He also said, "What do you think about Flash Dancers?"
I think
I've only been once.
Well, here's the thing. Flash Dancers is I think Flash Dancers is gone, because the Flash Dancers now is Sapphires on Broadway.
Oh, okay.
So and obviously, just if you want to go to a historical place where Cardi B started, Private Eyes on 45th Street.
Yeah. That's
more of an old school kind of New York spot. But I would
definitely.
But those are the kind of places where they're going to steal your credit card. You may get your drink drugged or something.
You referred to the movie Hustler.
Yeah,
Hustlers.
But I'm saying like a place. Cardi B would do interviews, and she's like, "Yo, we used to like take them drinks and put roofies in them, and they wake up with their organs gone." So if you don't mind, if you don't mind a little like danger, like
tomfoolery,
like
don't go in there like if you're like a fucking Wall Street guy. And throw it on the company credit card. But if you're, pay cash. And don't give anybody your credit card.
Yes. And don't go in wearing like a foam Statue of Liberty hat or anything and be like, oh, yeah, we're going to go see Mamma Mia before this. So I would say
bag full of snow globes.
Yeah. If you want to get into some like nonsense, the Hustler Club. But if you want to just go in and have like Rick's has food and Rick's has girls and there's champagne rooms and you can get into some business, So I would say Rick's Cabaret. So that's my answer.
I agree. I used to go to the one in Minneapolis all the time. I've been to the one here too. I think it was it was good. But I it's a nice, just kind of
it's
middle of the road.
It's a very good way to put it.
Yeah,
it's not left or right.
Mhm.
It's fine. It's got enough of something on one side and something on the other.
Yeah,
we're your New York City concierges.
Yeah, right. Hello to Roy. Hello to Ronan.
Hi, Ronan McCarthy. Oh, I can't say. I don't say your last name, but whatever. Hi, Ronan.
That's fine. Yeah, that's everybody.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Hey, listen, by the way, just as a plug, if you're watching the show and you like the show, make sure you subscribed and you like it, and please share it.
Just smash the like button.
Oh God, you imagine?
I'll say it. You're embarrassed to say it. I'll say it. Smash it.
Yeah, smash. Hey, and by the way, links in the comments.
Yeah, link in bio.
By the way, I'm so stupid. I don't even know how to get to the bio. So yeah, so like it. I just farted. Like the links, like the comments. If you're not on the Patreon's a lot of fun.
And Brian's been sharing some clips. Share the clips.
Oh yeah, I put clips out. I have more clips. We found a guy. Shout out to Nick, who does clips for us. Yeah. So we've got a guy that makes clips, and so if you happen to see a clip, like the clip, they're like a minute long.
Like the clip, share the clip,
like the clip. All right, I feel dirty saying all that.
That's all right. I'll say it.
So yeah, there you go.
Okay, we're gonna go behind the old beaded curtain.
We're gonna sign off. Everybody, thank you for listening and watching. And this was the podcast. This was the live show. Next week maybe it'll just be us again, just to give you more of this.
And also go to patreon.com/Brian McCarthy, sign up, and then you'll get all the Patreon back episodes, ringtones, videos.
Oh, God. It's
I think recipes, there's slinkies, maybe recipes,
mouse pads,
ice sculptures. It's all there.
It's all there. So do that, have a great time, and we'll see you next time. Okay, thank you, everybody.
Bye. I'm just gonna